What's up, guys? I tried to find the best video I could. This is about as good as it's going to get to explain what I'm talking about, but I will go more into detail.
Make a certain amount of money in your bank account. I remember TK Kirkland, who's a regular on my show, said that women should have a rule that if a man doesn't have at least 50,000 in their bank account, he should not be allowed to have sex.
Right.
He shouldn't be allowed to ruin your life, and give you a baby and not be able to really support it.
There was a story that got a lot of traction.
Because they're talking about women control sex and children, men control marriage and relationships, which is absolutely a fact, and so we're going to go into this situation. He's talking about in Memphis, there's these three men that fathered all these fucking children and shit, and all these women knew about one another and all this shit, and all this different shit, right? And they just carried on with the relationships or whatever, the way it was, the situation. I mean, by relationship, we use relationship a little bit too loosely. Like the idea that there's a relationship versus a committed relationship, so to speak. The commitment is really what they're talking about when they say relationships. We control the commitment in that situation. And so that's what is being said here.
That between three men, they had upwards of 70 children. And the thing is, these women were going into having relationships. These guys could they afford these children? Not no. But all these women knew about one another. Well, all right. What message does that send to guys? What message does that send to men? And that's what I think anything else. For the women who are outraged, step outside of yourself and ask about who do you want your brother, your son? And that's what I tend to do a lot of times with women. Would you?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is you're also talking about a woman who has no sons, which is another aspect. I mean, because if you've had a son, you would look at a woman like that and say, "Ooh, there's no way that women should be acting the way that they're acting," understanding the mentality of men, which makes it more difficult when they haven't actually even been around men that much and they haven't even raised one or something, or had like close uncles or any of that shit or something, because obviously you don't know the nature of men. And women have a nature, men have a nature. I mean, it's just the way it is.
You want your brother or your son to deal with the kind of woman that you are, or the kind of women that they're coming out. And almost all the time they're like, I'm like, well, what do you think they're going to pick from as far as the dating market? See, self-awareness, humility, gratitude, empathy. Shout out to Gary Vee. I think I got me. And there's some other things in there too. But we have to start understanding that women have to start understanding where men are coming from, because like it or not, ladies, you control access to sex and you decide when a life is brought into this world. You get the end choice. Men control access to relationships and marriage. And if the marital rate, if men aren't getting married, you got to look at it as a consumer. You got to give the market what they want, or they're not buying. Men are just not purchasing marriage in the same level as they were. And we in society far too long, we've been saying it's because you men are bad. Well, ask the consumer what they want and then go from there. That's all I'm saying.
Right. So you ask the consumer what they want. They don't want it no more. You know what I mean? They don't want those kinds of relationships. That's absolutely correct. I mean, the idea that someone wants to say that's married, that is pretty much sleeping with other men plus being married, for that person to act like you're in some sort of a committed relationship where you owe them something, you owe them, the truth of your life or whatever the case may be, or you owe them anything, which I don't. I completely do not owe anybody anything. I don't owe them my personal information at all. If they decide they want to give me sex, okay. You know, but if you're in a relationship and you're saying that you're in a relationship with me, that's like you're having sex with your husband, and I knock on, you know, I walk into the house and walk into your bedroom and say, well, I got access to sex. So, and then I just cram my dick in the same hole his fucking dick is in. You know, it's a fucking, that's why I'm so eeked by it and fucking find it disgusting that she would even fucking think such a thing. That she could be in a relationship with me and another man at the same fucking time. You're not done with your relationship yet. You know what I'm saying? You ain't in a relationship with me if you're married to somebody else. That's an impossibility. You know, I mean, well, not an impossibility. It's just not fucking gonna happen with me. You know, that's just a fucking disgusting thought. That, you know, that's as if you're saying we're both having sex with you at the same time. That at the exact same time though, not at different points in time. Okay, I mean that's like me saying, well, while I'm fucking this bitch, I'm going to fuck you too, when I only have one dick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that is just the stupidest fucking idea I've ever heard. That this woman thinks that there's some sort of a serious fucking relationship there when she's fucking married and living with her husband and everything else. I don't get that fucking mentality. And this isn't the first time we've seen this, right? We've also seen this with Fire Ice Witch, right? Or Fire Ice Bitch. However you want to look at it. We've seen the same kind of thing. This woman is not done with the relationship that she has. And now she has gone with one dude, broken up with him, and supposedly she's going with this other dude, but we don't know how true that is or not, and we don't really care. So this is a very common occurrence with these women, that they think that they can have these relationships, these serious committed relationships with multiple men, like they got it like that, like they're good like that, like they're so sly that they can manage that to work somehow. I mean, get the fuck out of here with that shit. That's fucking complete and total horse shit. It's complete and total bullshit. And you're making me out to be some kind of weak man that would fucking go with that when I would not. Absolutely fucking would not take that seriously at all. You're married, living with your husband. I am not taking you fucking seriously. It is just fucking sex. End of the fucking story. And I don't see how you can view it any other fucking way. And anybody that does, I think you're fucking nuts. Okay? And there it is. That's what I really fucking think of it. That's how I feel about it. And I don't give a shit what anybody else thinks or feels about it at all, because that's them. I'm me, you're you. End of the story. There's no fucking way that that would ever happen, and I find it offensive to think that this woman would try to say that it did like that. Offensive. I'm offended by it. Literally offended by it. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense to anybody. I mean, if not, oh well. I don't really care. It's my truth and my issue that I choose to put it out there for what it is and the way I feel about it. And I do not understand, and I will not ever understand otherwise, because it does not work any other way. The idea that you think that I'm going to be committed to you when you are committed to somebody else, currently committed to somebody else, is ludicrous, insane, nuts, out of this fucking world, fucking crazy. You're out of your fucking mind. Just saying.